Well, hey there. So yesterday I didn't post a video because to be honest with you, I filmed a lot of stuff and it was like, this is not a video. This is like part of another video. Like this is just some footage from my day. And so let's go see what I did yesterday and then we'll come back. So I'll see you in a little bit.
Somebody has figured out how to watch TV.
Look at him. Look at that face. Look at you watching TV. Goodness, what's going on here?
Just birds. I've seen this episode already. Watching Marco watch TV is officially my new favorite thing to do.
Marco, am I letting the TV raise you?
He doesn't listen to me anymore. He only listens to the TV.
He's too close to it now. We have that problem already.
What are you doing, sweet cheeks?
Hi. What are you doing? You hanging out with your bird friends on TV?
You losing your marbles?
You losing your marbles? You losing your marbles? You watching TV? Oh my god. Alright, I'm heading out. It is drizzly and wet and cold, but it's also kind of beautiful in a way. And I'm feeling like eager to be out of the house, so I'm like, whatever, I'll take it. The suburbs are so calming. Hey Ella. Well, that was fun, but I was sitting in this like reading room and it was a technology-free zone, so I just wrote in my notebook. It was so warm in there and it was just like so quiet and so peaceful, and I didn't have like technology like in my face keeping me awake, and I was just like doing something analog. I was getting so sleepy, and of course, you know, the weather. So, I don't know, I might go home and take a little nap-ski. I took a little nap, hung out with Marco, and now I am out again and off to yoga. I had like a split second of, oh, maybe I won't go, and I was like, no, I need to go to yoga. And we're back. So that was yesterday. And so today, instead of doing this kind of like, you know, here's me walking to the library, here's me going home, here's me being tired, like instead of me doing one of those videos, I thought today to kind of talk to you about some of the things that I have done in my life prior to the stuff I've done now, most recently, like therapy and supplements and all that stuff. Some of the things I've done in the past that have been helpful, because it can feel like nothing works. It can feel like you're just trapped in it. A lot of times with anxiety, people who maybe don't have anxiety or aren't familiar on how to kind of like talk to somebody who's struggling with anxiety and kind of be supportive. And it's not a dig, like it's like anything else. It's like learning how best to help somebody. I find that often rationalizing ideas doesn't help. Like I find that to be like a knee-jerk reaction for a lot of people who want to be helpful, is to help you rationalize your fears away. Like, oh, well, that's obviously not gonna happen, like because of this, this, and this. And it's like, people's hearts are in the right place with that kind of stuff, but the thing about anxiety is that it takes over your brain. And so you don't have access really, when you're really feeling a lot of anxiety, you don't have access to that clear, calm place, you know, that sort of like vantage point of looking at your life and going, oh, right. All of these things are not as important as they feel. All of these fears are really unfounded. It takes control of your life in a way that it dictates everything, and in ways that we don't even always realize. It's hard to realize what's normal and like what's anxiety and like what's normal anyway, right? So okay, starting with rationalization doesn't always work. I guess maybe it does for some people, it doesn't for me. Some things that I find to be really powerful. Meditation. Meditation is really powerful, really important. A lot of times, and it's when I'm not meditating often that this is what pushes me to it, is that I find myself searching for distractions. I'm just desperately looking for distractions, and eventually I just give up and say, okay, I'm just doing the opposite. I'm just gonna meditate. A lot of times that has been actually incredibly cathartic. I'd be so curious to hear if other people have had this, of crying in meditation, just like losing your fucking shit in meditation. I've had that happen so many times. I like just totally passed out. And I really believe that a lot of times with meditation, that
it's like I can feel the energy passing out of me. You know what I mean? Like I can feel it being expelled. I can feel it being processed. And I think it's because meditation doesn't create this resistance against the anxiety. It allows it to flow through you. I just like can't emphasize enough how important it is to stick with it. Like you can do it anywhere. It has so many proven benefits for your brain beyond just anxiety. Meditating every day is like drinking enough water every day. You just should be doing it anyway for your own like health and hygiene. Well, obviously exercise is really helpful. Yoga is really powerful particularly yoga is really powerful for anxiety. Though I would say if you were having really, really bad anxiety, a really like aerobic, going for a run, doing sprint intervals, a long bike ride, whatever's gonna really just like work out a shit ton of energy, that can be really helpful. But what I like about yoga, and yoga can work out a shit ton of energy as well, but there is this added element of just sitting with what reality is and just accepting what is and just going back to the breath, which is so important with meditation. And yoga is really just practicing that. I talked about this maybe in another video about, I think my second Vlogmas about yoga. So you can go check out all of my thoughts on yoga in that video. Another thing that I have been using only recently and was skeptical about for a while just because it seemed so weird is tapping, which is like the emotional freedom technique. I don't understand 100%. It's this idea of like these energy meridians in our body, like where we store certain energy, like where energy can get blocked. I didn't wait to learn how tapping worked to just start doing it, I think is what I want to say. Because tapping's kind of weird. I mean, you're literally tapping on your body. You're tapping on your top of your head, you're tapping under your nose and on your chin and here and here. Like you're doing this sequence of tapping while kind of like basically you're it's like you're not intellectually trying to resolve something. You're kind of getting this energy out of your body by like releasing it at all these different like meridian points. I don't even know what a meridian point is. I just keep tapping them till the energy goes away. I was super skeptical of this, and then I started doing it and I was like, oh my God, this is working. Like, why is this working? Like, why do I feel better? And I would totally recommend that if you've never done tapping before, beyond like learning how to do it, there is a YouTube channel called Tapping with Brad, I think. It's Brad Yates. I'll leave a little link in the description. I can't recommend it enough. Like it's just these quick like 5 to 10 minute tapping sessions on certain fears or issues or concerns, and there's a whole bunch of different videos. He's got a very calming presence. Like it's that was really what got me to like really start doing tapping more often, because I wasn't just like left in the lurch of like, am I doing this right? Like, is this how you do it? I needed that guide. It actually has been really helpful for me, and I don't even know how it works, and I don't even care. I just feel better, right? I've been kind of doing my supplement regime for about a week now, which is tyrosine, theanine, and selexan, which is lavender oil. What I've found in my research is you kind of got to give it like a week or so to see the full effect. I take one of each of those in the morning, and then sometimes I take another lavender oil selexan pill in the afternoon if I'm needing it. And I can tell you that I feel a huge difference. I feel a huge difference. My morning anxiety has decreased. Really my anxiety levels in general have decreased. I've had no negative side effects. The thing with the lavender oil pills is that you do have it's like with fish oil pills, sometimes you have like the burps, and so it's like tastes like lavender a little bit. Honestly, it's not a big fucking deal. Like for what it does, it's like, oh, whatever. Who gives a shit? I don't feel like any of my emotions are blocked. If anything, I feel like my emotions are a bit clearer because they're not so, whatever this is, if you have anxiety, you know what this is. They're not so this. And so I feel like I'm feeling things more proportionately. Well, the other thing I would say is journaling, writing it out. There is a huge transformation in taking it out of your head and putting it on the page. I can't recommend that enough either. It's just like, once you get some of these irrational fears out of your mind and onto paper, they change. They get exposed to oxygen and they weaken because they're not in the safe, insulated space of your brain. So journaling is really, really helpful as well. Anyway, those are some different things that I right now would recommend. Is there anything that I wouldn't recommend? What do I not recommend? Rationalizing things does not help with anxiety. Smoking pot does not help with anxiety. I hate to say it, but maybe it helps. Some people, they find it helpful. I found THC, especially if you smoke a lot, if you just like have a very moderate, you know, and it affects everybody differently, but like if you smoke only like once a week, a couple times a week, and it's only like, you know, a couple of hits or whatever, which if you only smoke that much, that's all you really need. I think that there is some benefit there. When I've kind of had that kind of schedule, I found some benefit to it. But if you're smoking every day, my own experience is that like the high levels of THC were only giving me more anxiety. If you still do want to be smoking every day, I would say, you know, if you're in a legal state, you're lucky that you can find strains that are higher CBD. CBD does have effects on depression, anxiety. I'm not sure. I haven't really tested that theory out 110%, but right now, whenever I don't smoke, I vape. You know, I feel like a douchebag saying that, but it is healthier. But when I do, I have a strain that's a mix of THC and CBD, and so I don't get super high and I don't get the anxiety because of the CBD. So really all it does is kind of just like, it's just kind of like, oh, that feels good, but I'm still totally functional, and that's what I've always wanted. I find when weed makes you very like non-functional, I think that locks you to the couch and that gets you in a place of isolation, and those are just like signals for anxiety to come in and take over. Absolutely, drinking is a terrible idea to deal with anxiety. I know that it helps. I did it for years. It will only make it worse. The hangovers will not help you at all. There's no benefit except for in the moment of feeling drunk, and that's not dealing with anxiety. That is just numbing you. Over everything else in dealing with anxiety, do not deal with it on your own. Anxiety is not something to deal with on your own, and regardless of how much you can or cannot afford, there are free hotlines you can call to just talk to somebody. Sometimes you just got to get it out of your system and off your chest. I don't think anyone should be trying to deal with a mental health issue on their own, because we wouldn't deal with a physical one on our own unless we were really in a difficult situation. Like if you had a bum knee, you should not be treating that on your own. This is the same thing, and I know I've said this in past videos, and it just is worth repeating again. Don't try to do this on your own. Anyway, that's all, and this is that's all I have to say. That's it. So I will see you tomorrow. All right? Thanks. Bye.